welcome.
No, I thought we had a legit opening.
No, we just kind of say welcome to another episode of A Couple of Opinions.
Well, welcome to another episode of a couple opinions. Cool.
Yeah.
Is it a couple of opinions?
Yeah, a couple of opinions.
A couple.
Yeah, because we are a couple.
Welcome to another episode of
A Couple of Opinions.
Thank you very much.
I'm Ebony. My pronouns are she, her, and hers.
And I'm LaRon. He, him, they, them.
Pronouns. Yeah, it's another episode. Episode 3. We have some topics on our list. We're going to talk about current things that have happened recently since the last time we recorded that we feel like talking about. And then we'll move on to not current event, whatever. You'll just listen and you'll hear what it is. So let's just go ahead and jump right into these.
You want me to
what?
go through our topics?
Yeah, sure. Oh, yes. I don't know. We can. We can. They can
listen to more podcasts.
We can do whatever we want, but we can list the things. It's sort of like a table of contents, what you can expect to hear on the podcast. I mean, you can put that in the description, or you can say it, or do both. Yeah, we can give a list. Go ahead and give them the list.
All right. Well, I guess since we wanted to start with recent things, so we talked about the BET Awards and we talked about the Olympics. That was the most recent thing. So
yeah, the Olympics is the most recent thing. Yeah. Well, I guess the BET Awards too, because that was just Sunday and it's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what were some of your reactions to?
This is the intro, baby. We have to.
Oh, we
have to cut.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we go to the next. Okay, we're gonna move on to our current events. No, this is the opening. Okay, we're moving on now. All right, so you were going to ask me my reaction to what?
The BET Awards. What was some?
So disclaimer: I didn't watch it. I don't watch any award shows because they're too damn long. They're too long, and they're on Sunday nights. People have to go to work and school the next day. I've said this on my own podcast, Raging Black Girl, the podcast, no longer in production, but all of the episodes are still up. But I don't watch award shows because I'm not staying up that late.
You said, but so what of it did you see that you?
Yes, so I watched performances. I mean, I scroll on social media and people post stuff. So what I did see, I saw that there was a DMX tribute. I saw that Chloe and Halle got completely robbed. That is a freaking travesty. I saw a part of Ari Lennox and Jasmine Sullivan's performance. I saw my gay little cousin Lil Nas X performance. Very proud of him. And I have words about how people have reacted to that clearly. I saw Queen Latifah's tribute. Very beautiful. I feel like there was another lady. I saw that Cardi B is pregnant and performed. I didn't watch the performance because the music doesn't do much for me. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. Again, I'm not the target audience. That's what I can remember off the top of my head. Lil Nas X is clearly
Which performance did you see, though?
I just said Lil Nas X.
Oh, all right.
I saw some of Jasmine Sullivan and Ari Lennox.
So what did you think of Lil Nas X performance?
I thought it was really great. Looking at it, breaking it apart, the Michael Jackson Remember the Time part was really great and timely because the anniversary of his death had just passed, maybe 2 days before the BET Awards. So that was cool. He clearly is not a dancer. Of his talents, that's not the number 1 or the number 3 or maybe even the number 5. But he's getting better with every performance. He needs to work on singing and dancing at the same time and breath work. So there's that. But ultimately, I think he did a really great job, especially with the content of the song, the reception of his music video from the very beginning, and it being the BET Awards, and just knowing as a Black person, I mean, how he grew up. He didn't come out when he was younger because he was surrounded by I don't want to say surrounded, but being gay was not okay or cool in the Black community, and that's very generally speaking. But I applaud him for doing that. And he tweeted he was super nervous about it, performing on the BET Awards in front of a completely Black crowd and a black audience, like people watching it, and realizing how people would react. And everybody was here for it, until he kissed the guy, at the end, and it was nothing. I mean, I was like, yes, go for it. I love it. And it's just, it's like, it's so sad that it's revolutionary or it's so groundbreaking because it's just a kiss. It's just a kiss. Meanwhile, and I say this every time I talk about this, Jasmine Sullivan and Ari Lennox are talking about sitting and spitting on a dick in their song, and they're singing beautifully. And I'm not criticizing the song. I listen to Megan Thee Stallion. I don't have a problem. I love that they're singing about singing and spitting on dick, but people are really mad about Lil Nas X kissing a man at the end of a song, talking about having gay sex. The song is sexual and also about his sexual identity, and being gay and everything. And people are, of course, upset about it and very uncomfortable by it. And it's just very obvious. But what's really frustrating to me, and I tweeted about it at Raging Black Girl on Twitter, and I screenshot and put the tweets up on my Instagram, Raging Black Girl, like my rant dump page. And ultimately, it's just hypocritical, and it's just so obvious that y'all are just making stuff up to be mad at him about, because it's like people are like, he should be talking about safe sex. And I'm like, again, Jasmine Sullivan and Ari Lennox are not saying, yeah, I'm going to put this flavored Jimmy on there and sit on it, or not spit on it. Do not use flavored condoms for penetration. It is for oral sex only. They're not talking about using condoms or contraception or spermicide or anything in their songs. Some queer man, I don't know if he's gay or bisexual or anything, but he's part of the community. This black guy, he was talking about how he needs to be talking about HIV and AIDS prevention and stuff. And it's just like, who else is doing that? Y'all are not asking. The Baby had a music video where some girl had semen in her mouth, and he was snowboarding or skiing or whatever on it. A Winter Olympic sport on the tongue. How safe is that? What kind of safe sex is that? Baby, gonorrhea, herpes, syphilis, all that could just be slotting right on her mouth, and he's just snowboarding on it. And this is not to stigmatize any HIV, STDs, or STIs. There's no such thing as clean or dirty when it comes to sex or sexually transmitted infections or diseases. That's not what I'm saying here. All I'm pointing out is the hypocrisy. Also, apparently the Baby was humping the air or acting like he was getting head when he was in the air or something. I don't know. I don't see it for that man. He's trash. Oh, I saw Megan Thee Stallion perform. Oh my God. How did I forget about her? I saw her perform. But it's just so annoying. And it's like, why does he have to be the person to talk about HIV and AIDS? And the same day the BET Awards premiered was National HIV Testing Day. Why does it have to be his job? I'm sure no one knew that was the fucking day that National HIV Testing Day was. BET could have easily been airing HIV testing commercials in between, or had a segment where HIV and AIDS plagues the Black community by these numbers. This many people have HIV and AIDS. Please make sure you get tested. If you're positive, know that it's not a life-ending or it's not a death sentence. There are many people who are living with, like, I'm just saying, like, people are just throwing out this bullshit and then also worrying about the fucking kids. The BET Awards is not for children. Have them go watch Nickelodeon Teen Choice Awards, whatever the fuck they got. There were no Black child stars there. Marseille Martin might have been the youngest person there, and that girl is a teenager of the age of 14 or something. And when I looked it up, live television events like the award shows, and I guess when NBC does those musicals live or whatever, those are rated at least TV 14 because of potential sexual themes and drugs and language and all that kind of shit. So your kids don't need to be watching the BET Awards. I mean, if you want to know more about what I think, go read my thread on either Raging Black Girl on Instagram or Twitter. But that's most of what my feedback was about the BET Awards, and also how BET kind of doesn't speak up about those things. It's like it's not like the Shade Room. I was gonna say, it's like when the Shade Room posts stuff on Instagram because they know people are going to be really homophobic or transphobic or misogynist or whatever in the comments, and they know it's going to get them a lot of engagement on social media. But if you're going to, you know what, I don't know if it is BET's job to, you know, support the artists that they have performing on their platform. Oh, I saw Tyler's performance too. I don't know if it's their job to support them or to like speak out against it, but it would be really nice if they would, like, we're not here for the homophobia. Lil Nas X did an amazing performance, blah, 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 blah. And it could have been just cut at that. But the backlash is...
It depends on the platform. Some platforms do take the time to do that, and some don't. Like, I don't know. Historically, BET has been like trash as far as like making a statement about something.
Yeah,
really,
it's been disappointing.
Like, I don't know. I can't really even think of a time where they had something happen and, like they stepped forward and it's been noteworthy. So I don't see it.
I also don't follow BET for the sole fact that I just am disappointed by. I try not to follow any networks because they just it's all commercially. It's all commercials and watch this and see this and all. I don't want to be thrown things. I'm one of the very few people on Instagram who doesn't get ads on my timeline on my personal account, and I love for it to stay that way because it's just annoying. It interrupts the flow of what I have curated on my timeline. So I follow enough blog and gossip pages, not the Shade Room, but I follow enough like MEF Eater, if that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I follow them. Pages that are either pretty unbiased in their reporting. That's a lie. I follow a lot of places that like support and go for Black women and queer Black people and all that kind of stuff, but I follow platforms that, are curated for people like me. Where I am the target audience. And I am not the target audience for BET.
Yeah, no, rightfully so.
Unfortunately.
I think that's like the consumer today. Like, we have that power to be able to zero in on the outlets that we care about and the ones that resonate with us. Whereas before, like, there wasn't many choice. Like, and BET was what was supposed to represent.
Yeah.
At one point. And I don't think that's the case. Like,
no, it's not.
That's the case.
No, it's under Viacom's hold. So, and I've also done like a video on Raging Black Girl on Instagram for IGTV about like BET and my expectation. This is way before the BET Awards was a thing. I think it was like maybe last month or a month and a half ago. I don't know, but it's up there. And basically just talking about what BET could be. There could be Black cooking channels. There could be children's programming on BET from like 6 a.m. to like, I don't know, 12 p.m. or 2 like p.m. or after school or something. You know what I'm saying? Like there could be Black travel shows. There's
because their programming is very limited.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
Fucking Martin.
It's like old sitcoms and then movies.
Tyler Perry got some shows on there. They got new shows, but they're all like adult shows and drama shows, not shows that I would really be into. Like, I'd love to see a Black vampire show. I'd love to see a Black witch show. There is Black Juju, the web series on YouTube. I have to finish it. There's The Vet Life and then Critter Fixers, which are two shows. One's on National Geographic, one's on Animal Planet, of Black men who have their own veterinary practice, and it shows a little bit of their personal life, but mostly them working with animals. Critter Fixers is more focused on just the vet practice, and The Vet Life shows like their personal life and their vet practice. But I don't know about that third guy. That light-skinned guy on The Vet Life. I don't know if he's Black or if he's Hispanic, but they're best friends and their brother kind of relationship or whatever. But BET could have stuff like that. And I'm not saying like the Black programming that's on TV on other networks has to be on BET, but BET could be that. Or BET could be like Nickelodeon, where it's like we have Nickelodeon, we got Nick Jr. channel, we got Nicktoons channel, we got the Teen Nick channel, where there could be a Black children's programming television network as a subset of BET. Yeah. I know there's BET Her, and I know if you have Comcast, there's actually that's VH1 Soul. Never mind.
Yeah. They actually could, it would be hard to get, the different properties of, what they would be airing.
But it's possible.
It's possible, yeah.
Anything is possible. I don't know about anything is possible.
It's possible,
I don't know I don't know TV network and all that kind of shit, so I don't know what it takes. Yeah. But I know it's possible because it's possible. Happening.
Look at the channels that we got. Like, think about, what is it? What's the name of that app? Pluto. Mm-hmm. All the different channels.
You're right.
And those kids channels.
There's a bunch of them. There's the gaming one.
Like somebody recorded all of content on their phone. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me. I also know that there's Quelly TV. I haven't checked too much into it. I see it come across my timeline often, but it's like a Black Netflix kind of thing. And I think there's another one that's like Black Cinema or something, but that's not accessible.
Yeah, you're right.
That's not completely accessible. And I'm really glad that those platforms exist, and I need to get on them and look at them, but that's not accessible. Like, people don't have Netflix because they can't pay for it. They got other things they got to worry about. Like, people don't have streaming services because they can't pay for it. BET, from what I understand, is like basic cable. It's part of basic cable. But whatever. I mean, those are my thoughts. What was your feedback about the awards?
I didn't, like you, I didn't see too much of it, but
it's too fucking long, bro.
The most noteworthy, I don't know. I seen some things on social media about, like, basically how Tyler's performance wasn't really like highlighted on social media, basically because of who he is, like, basically like his lane.
Really? I mean, there was conversation about him. I mean, BET is doing what every other network and major social media account does, is like they continue to post content from the big event that happened. So I think I did follow them after the BET Awards, and I was like, I could be following them. It's not a problem. But I think they posted his performance on their page, like as an IGTV thing. But
not even just.
Oh, you mean pre-advertising before the awards happened? No, I mean like
other like vlogs.
Oh, they didn't really. I mean, I'm not gonna blame them. I was a Our Future fan mostly because it's like, ooh, I want to be like the other blacks. Ew, that's gross. But somebody put it really well. I'm not gonna say it verbatim because I don't remember, and I don't remember the person's handle on Twitter. But they were basically saying like Tyler and Odd Future, to a certain extent, they were on their weird black Eminem thing, where they were like misogynist and transphobic and homophobic, all for shock factor, but were super dedicated to it. And also super anti-black in a way that like most white people were not gonna fuck with that unless they were like me at that time, who was like, yeah, I want to be cool. I want to skateboard. I don't want to be like those other blacks who listen to hippity hop, although I was listening to hip hop at the time. But like, you know what I'm saying? Right, it's just like that really gross anti-black kind of persona that you took on at that time. And also their fan base was like white boys who skateboard and didn't shower and smell like cheese. So like,
I mean, I know I've heard him say personally that Eminem was a huge influence to him. So for him to come out and do the shock rap thing makes perfect sense. If it feels like it follows, so it's seeming like somebody that how he is, he's very thought out.
Yeah.
So I would think that that's something that a kid would sit in the house and be like, oh, when I come out as a rapper, I'm just going to just say the craziest shit.
Yeah, and they were pretty young. I mean, he was like 21 or something at the time. And Our Future was like not an equal comparison, but like they were a big group of people. Like
Wu-Tang.
Yes, like Wu-Tang, like Rough Riders. It was just like a bunch of people. Yeah. Most of them rapped. Some of them were just there. Like, I don't know what the fuck Taco does. I don't know what that nigga does. He doesn't rap. He doesn't sing. I don't know if he writes. He's just around. But he was on. He was on Loader Squad or whatever. But he's part of the group.
The squad.
Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
The squad. It is what it
so
is.
like, yeah. But I mean, the same for Tyler goes the same for Childish Gambino, where they were on this anti-blackness in their music and in their representation, very intentionally. And then all of a sudden, there's this flip of the switch where Tyler is not as extreme as Childish Gambino, but it's like, yeah, black people. I love black people. Why the fuck don't black people care for me? The same thing happened with the Black Eyed Peas. Interestingly enough, there were like screenshots from Tyler on Twitter when he was saying like will.i.am was like talking down on him and like, oh, you gotta sell out or some stupid shit like that. I don't know. Or, oh no, black people ain't gonna fuck with this. I don't know. But the Black Eyed Peas at some point, it resurfaced. It wasn't recent, but it resurfaced a couple months ago where will.i.am was just talking about like, you know, the black community don't fuck with Black Eyed Peas. And it's like, y'all intentionally distance yourself from the black community. All of y'all aren't black. It's only one of you that's black. Y'all had a black woman in the group and she left when y'all were trying to sexualize her and then replaced her with Fergie. And then all of a sudden, I mean, I'm not going, I love the Black Eyed Peas.
They're called the Black Eyed Peas and only one of them is black.
Only one of them is black. One is Filipino and black, but he talks a lot. There's a song where he screams Filipino all over the song the whole time. Bebo. On, I think it's Monkey Business.
Bebo.
Yeah, it's Bebo. He's
Bebo, yeah.
No. His name's Apple.
Oh.
There's Apple, will.i.am, and yeah, everybody knows will.i.am. And he's had so much of a transformation, and it's kind of like whatever will.i.am says is what they fucking do. But yeah, I mean, will.i.am and Tyler and Childish Gambino, they're just three of several black music acts who intentionally separate themselves from the black community or distance themselves from the black community. will.i.am and the Black Eyed Peas for different reasons than Tyler and Childish Gambino. And I think the Black Eyed Peas did a reverse of what Childish and Tyler did, where Black Eyed Peas was like hip hop, like a Tribe Called Quest kind of hip hop. And then they just went through all of these eras and transitions where for Childish and Tyler, it was like anti-black. And then, yeah, black people, you exist to me. I want to, I want to be cool, I want to get down with y'all kind of thing. But that's that.
I never thought about it like that because I never really was into Tyler's music in that time period. I never, so I wouldn't have known like what the makeup of what it was about or anything. I don't really listen to any like
violence for sure. I mean, there's kill people, burn shit, fuck school.
Yeah.
There's things about rape a pregnant bitch, tell my friends I had a threesome. Like, there's hella shit that's like, what the fuck? And he said in interviews, like, I say shit. He was being interviewed as some old white guy. And he was like, I say this shit to piss off old white people like you. And it's kind of like, ooh, suck it to the man. But it's like, you could do that in so many other ways. And not at the harm, and like not for black people and black women specifically and queer people to be like the casualties in you trying to stick it to the man.
True. You're absolutely right. But like, at the same time, like long term, I mean, I don't know, like artists do that. I think historically speaking, like artists do that a lot.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying it's okay.
Yeah, no, it's the thing that they do. I mean, comedians do it all the fucking time, and then they get upset when people point that shit out.
And then, like, I'm saying, like in retrospect, now we look back and it's like,
what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's like almost like niggas was just like, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Because at the time I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like I was even dressing like these guys. Like, ew. I
don't think because I mean, there's a culture, there's a wave. Like
absolutely,
there's a validity to it to some extent. That's why I think every wave, like, there's gotta be something to each wave. Like, there's not everything isn't, even though, like, it's a trend and it's like becomes like some kind of corny like idea, but there's something to it. Like it was something to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I also really liked it because it was a bunch of black guys who were like, we're doing our own thing, and march to the own beat of our drum, and they have been really successful in a lot of what they've done. And they always give credit to like Clancy about like supporting them and everything.
My mind. I was just about saying like, these are the only niggas I know that's like they always mention a benefactor like every time. Like I mean because
they also have a really close relationship with them. I wonder how old their daughter is now. But they've had a really close relationship with them. But yeah, I mean, what are your final thoughts? Because we were talking about the BET Awards originally. Like,
yeah, I mentioned the entire thing and about like some social media outlets not really
commenting on it.
Yeah, not so much. They're just not highlighting it. Like they're not showing it. They're not posting it. Not reposting it. And then just the fact that the Migos are funny as hell to me. Like every time I see the Migos, I don't know. I just think it's funny. Like every time they're together on stage, I can't help but laugh. I mean, you've seen that when we seen the
the fucking Savage Fenty fashion show.
Yeah,
they were so like, I hated most of the music acts for that first one. So many choices made. But I mean, I'm not that girl, so clearly not that girl.
So another trending topic, current topic, was the Olympics. You mentioned.
Yeah, so the most recent news, like as of today, Sha'Carri is suspended for 30 days because she tested positive for THC. And there is a conversation about like how that happened and how it's like fucking bullshit. And it's kind of I don't know how the Olympics works. I don't know how drug testing works. I'm sure they test for performance enhancing drugs, which THC definitely is not, but
she knew what
yeah.
it was. Like if you a high performing athlete, you know that the testings are coming. They let you know about the testings.
Right. What
I don't think
happened?
it's a surprise,
What I've learned. What happened is that she learned that her mother died from a reporter, and then she went and smoked, and then I think she raced that same day or that same week or some shit like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, it had. She said, "I just found out my mom passed away last week." And I don't think she had a relationship with her mother or a very close one or something like that, because she kept using biological mother, and her grandmother was there. Well, of course her mom wouldn't be there, she passed away, but her grandmother was there, and the way she talked about it, I haven't looked too much into it, but the reception has been really strange. So most people that I follow that on social media have been like really pissed about it, like, I can't believe this is happening to her, y'all are just trying to shut her out, this is racist, da 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 da. And then there are some black people like, I'm so ashamed of her, she knows better. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Whether it's, I don't even know why we're testing for weed anymore anyway, for jobs or for sports or anything like that. I don't know why we're testing for it. It stays in your system for a very long time. The effects don't last as long as it stays in your fucking system. Meanwhile, we're not testing these fucking executives who are high off of fucking cocaine while they're buying up these teams and making these decisions and making up these fucking rules and policies. Like, drug test them motherfuckers. Which one of them Olympics officials is high up on some fucking cocaine, some fucking crack, some fucking meth, whatever the fuck, heroin, whatever the fuck these people are doing? Like, are we testing them? And then people keep bringing up Michael Phelps because he was tested positive for weed, or he was seen, or I picture him smoking weed, I think was the thing.
Yeah.
But I also think that this is very different. Like, I don't think this is a racism thing. There are a lot of, well, clearly, I think there is misogyny and everything. But
yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, there is, but it's not as apparent as, say, the swim cap ban that they're having. Have you heard about that?
No.
So there is this brand, I do not remember the name, but they created swim caps specifically for natural hair or black people's hair. So whether it's braids or locks or afro or whatever, like, they made it so that it fits over our hair, because swim caps are just like whatever.
Right.
They're banned in the Olympics. They say because elite swimmers don't need these kind of swim caps or something like that. And it's very coded, like, there aren't as many black swimmers as there are black runners. And it's just like,
I mean, one, that reeks of like bizarre racism, but two,
and low-key some eugenics.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's
in
the
everything.
same house.
Yeah,
it's the same house. But like, I gotta have to look into like what, because that's it's really weird.
Yeah, but it's those swim caps are banned.
That's just strange.
Yeah, so that happened. There are also some black women runners who, I don't know what the hell they run. I don't even know anything about track, like what 100 meters, 5 million, I don't know. But a couple of them from, I think Namibia is one of them, one of the countries, a couple of countries, but there are a couple black women who have higher testosterone levels than what they call, quote, the average female, unquote, which all that shit is very, everything's made up, but
and that's just from the consensus of like those people that they've studied that have that certain amount. Someplace else, someone can have a higher testosterone just from what they've been eating or where they live.
And when women are on their cycle, which I've recently learned this year, we have higher testosterone levels. But I don't know what the levels are from what they've tested to what they would be if someone's on their cycle. But every person's body is different. But they're like
ethnic background.
Absolutely. But they're basically like, you can't run. This is not okay. This is unacceptable. Like, this is unfair. You have an unfair advantage. The same thing happened to Caster Semenya, who is an intersex person. And maybe these other people are intersex too because of their testosterone levels.
It could be possible.
Yeah, but I'm not going to place that on them, but I know for a fact Caster Semenya is an intersex woman. And she even got like titles taken away from her and medals taken away from her, like things that she has won. They've taken it away from her because they're like, you do not fit the typical definition of female and therefore cannot compete in female. So it's like people are calling out the transphobia, the trans misogyny, and specifically the trans misogynoir of these kind of policies. And it's also, again, eugenics, where it's like, y'all are,
their idea of what human, like, physique,
right,
nature, like, they have a set of what they want in an Olympic athlete, and you have an unfair advantage if you have this trait. So it's like, no, like, they're cutting it from there. So yeah, it is eugenics, limiting people based off their genetics and saying, like, this is the ideal, this is what we want, not this. Like, you're not built like this, we don't want that. And I wouldn't expect anything less from the Olympics. I mean, come on, it's like the most elitist thing. Like,
it really is. It's hella expensive to go and witness. They completely demolish and displace hella people, and they're usually poor people in all of these countries. It's coming to LA the next time, I think, because I was doing googling some stuff up about like how the displacement affects places, and I think LA is the next one for 2025.
Man, and I can't imagine what that's going to do to the city. I mean, fuck. Yeah, I can't. I already know that they're making law changes ahead of time now. Like, they've already made changes about, like, encampments, as far as like how people can live on the street. In LA, it's legal for you to live on the street during certain times. Like, you can have a tent out and, you know, sleep. I mean, it's legal. So,
so you're saying they're changing laws about that?
Yeah, they're making it so, like, things can be a little bit more flexible about how it's going to affect the city, because there's going to be, like, major changes, like, with poverty and, like all kinds of shit. Like, how many people are going to be displaced? And, like,
I also put on Raging Black Girl on Instagram and Twitter just
they already have,
about how they're displacing people. Yeah,
they already have like one of the largest populations of homeless people. Like,
I mean, and it's not even homeless people. Like, they literally be like, you got to move out of your house. We're completely leveling all of this for the Olympics, and the shit's just going to stay here when the Olympics is over. We're not going to take it with us. So now you just have all of, like, we're destroying your homes. In Rio, something about traditional and cultural homes and towns and all that kind of stuff completely destroyed for the Olympics when it was in Rio. Tokyo, from what I saw it on TikTok, where people who live in Tokyo are like, we don't want the fucking Olympics here. Most of them are like, we don't want it here because it completely, like, displaces a bunch of people, and people are even further marginalized and disadvantaged.
Japan, they have the population issue with, like, it's not enough space. It's so, like, densely populated. So for them to have the Olympics there, they're gonna have to. I mean, some of these cities, they've got, like, the benefit of being, like, the darlings of their countries. So, like, for Tokyo, like, they're going to have the resources, they're going to have the engineers to be able to, like, for Brazil, I don't know, it's different because they have such, like, a class issue. Like, there's a gap. It's such a huge gap. For Japan, I don't know. It's definitely going to affect, like, tremendously, definitely, because they're how densely populated it is.
Yeah. I've also read, I don't remember what I was going to say. I do not remember what I was going to say. But, it just displaces a bunch of people. So the Olympics is... It's
very disruptive.
Yeah.
And it benefits really only, like...
Right, the town. So what I was going to say when I was just Googling some stuff to support whatever I was saying, like, articles, they were saying that towns, like, they go up for the bid, or they want the Olympics in their town because they can, you know, increase tourism and revenue and all that kind of stuff. And it's just it's fucking capitalism, bro. Just like, we want more money. Get these poor people out of here. We want more money. Come build these really ridiculous, huge structures that'll just be in our town after the fact. They're just there, like, collecting dust and dirt, and just they're just there.
There's
crazy.
There's so much more to it that, like, we, like, don't know about, like, the committees and, like, how they do the bids and, like, how much money goes into it. I can't even imagine.
I don't know why there isn't like one location for the Olympics, the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics. I don't understand.
What would make the most sense is if they just they had that, like,
just put it in one
they
place.
They had multiple, either like one place or like they just
why does it have to be this tour? It's not the fucking circus.
It's supposed to be like, because I don't know, that's what
it's been forever. Well, they need to fucking change it.
So look, this is what I'm saying. Just build multiple stadiums and just let them be those stadiums in those multiple places and not be that.
But it's still displacing people. What I'm trying to eliminate.
But I'm not saying
that
I'm not saying it be in some place where there's a whole bunch of people. I'm just saying put them in different places somewhere else, build them, and then you got your little Olympic stadiums.
Man, put that shit on Mars. Go talk to Elon Musk and put that shit on fucking Mars.
Like, if it's the Olympics, put them in Greece. Like, build them in Greece and then let them be there. If that's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, but there's money involved with these bids. That's what I'm saying. That's why all these cities are trying to get it to be in one place. Even though it's going to cause this massive scar on the city, somebody's lines is getting their pockets is getting lined. So they want it there. They bidding for it there. Even though it's like a bomb, an economic bomb going off, is the result somebody's making some money, bro. So that's why it don't make no sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's been happening forever. Like I was reading,
capitalism.
There's some women in Tokyo who have been displaced twice by the Olympics.
Wow.
Right.
Wow. And they were just in that economic class and that felt that shockwave that is going to hit. Mm-hmm. It's going to go off. There's just a class that's, when something that major happens, like something like, say, even like a major athlete leaving a town. Mm-hmm. Like that is another effect. Like some major athlete, they change and leave and go to another town. It affects the economy of that area that much. Like where it's like, yo, we not bringing in that much money as we was before.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And it also, like, specifically looking at the Olympics when they were in Rio, just like it's like essentially destroying culture when you're in certain places of the world. It's like this historic town, and these are indigenous people. And it's kind of and it's like we're losing culture and history for the fucking Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Just so some bigwig can get some money,
right?
Somebody with pretty
and
much
people bust their ass.
Those specific people that's getting that money. Oh yeah, it's an honor for the city to be recognized by the Olympic Council. Says who? What about like Jose and them that like where they crib was at is now
where they're swimming, where they're running
is a giant soccer stadium. Oh, he loves football, but he never
doesn't matter. He'll never be able to watch it either. Yeah. I mean, I think some people get reparations, but it's kind of like it's like this. It doesn't equate to me. Yeah, I mean, I'm not these people.
No, you're right.
You know, I'm not these people, but it's like my home is gone, where my people have been. I was born in that house, or this is where my family grew up, or there's so many special. Even if it's not even anything cultural historic, like I grew up here. This is my fucking house. I bought this shit.
It don't add up.
And y'all just like gotta go because we're having the Olympics here. Bye. People got to get some gold medals.
Yeah, it really doesn't add up at all. It makes no sense. But like you said, capitalism makes things happen that don't make sense because it profits a minimal amount of people. Mm-hmm. People that have enough scale where they can make something happen that's big enough to affect everybody. That's capitalist effect. That's the power of capitalism as a whole, that you can just strike out and be like, yeah, let's do this thing, and just boom, and it changes all those people's lives. It just is what it is. It's how that system it works. If enough people decide like, hey, this is profitable to do this thing, their money says like, yeah, you gotta go. You have to go.
You don't have a choice. Yeah. I mean, but ultimately, I mean, starting with Sha'Carri, I'm just disappointed for her, and I hope she got people like around her who are like holding her. And
I think she's gonna be fine.
I'm saying emotionally, not even for the Olympics. Like her mom just died. You know?
Yeah. Take the time that she needs to have the care that she needs.
Yeah.
But I think that she seems to be like a resilient black woman. I think she's gonna.
Which really sucks because she shouldn't have to be. I mean, people passing is not a specifically black woman thing. But
no, not at all. But I'm saying like, I think that's what she has like came out and said that her brand is like. So I think that resiliency is to be expected of her. Like I don't think there's any doubt in that, and I think in her statements she's already said like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and I think she's 21, so she'll be able to compete again.
Oh yeah, she gonna compete like this year. She's still gonna compete.
Yeah, because
like,
it's just a 30-day suspension.
Yeah,
She's already from what I understand, we're just learning of what happened, but she has already begun her suspension period and also whatever other stipulations they had her do or whatever. So she may she was on the news talking to some reporter, and they were talking about how she may miss her individual race, but she could still perform in the relay or something like that. I don't know. I feel like for her, as long as she gets to run, is
she gonna race again and break another record.
Yeah,
because then she'll have the rest. The 30 days like
yeah.
She'll have all the time off. Like that's how. I mean, I feel like we've seen this happen with, like, not necessarily like Usain Bolt because it's completely different, but we've seen where like these athletes get suspended or something, and then it's like, oh man, we're stupid. What are you doing? And then they step up and they're back shining again or something. You know what I mean? I think her trajectory is up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's just my frustration is with people, specifically Black people, who are like, I'm ashamed of you. How dare you? You know better. And it's regardless of the grief that she's experiencing, even if that wasn't a thing, it's like, calm down. It's weed.
First of all, that's very disappointing because if we looking at it like when everything all together, like it's a kid and they on the grand scale, like they got the world looking at them, and it's a Black kid, and you talking down on them, like
that's not helpful.
That's
like not helpful. That's the opposite of helpful.
It's lame to me, regardless. Like especially if you an elder, and like I understand what you're saying. It's like you disapprove, but it's like this kid is.
It's weed. Calm down. Like
they got their whole life in the public eye right now. You know what I'm saying? And just because they run fast, this don't necessarily mean. You know what I mean? Like if you come on, stop that. Like cut it out. What were you doing when you were like 21? Like you know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, also I saw someone tweet. They were like, every time, especially a Black woman, and especially if she's young, does some like huge feat, it's like everybody latches on it like, oh, Black girl magic. It's like they were like, go find your own Black girl magic and leave that girl alone. It's like we always grasp onto people and putting people on, and I think we talked about this in the first episode, putting people on a high pedestal and holding them up to ridiculous expectations. Although like not smoking weed is not a ridiculous expectation, and weed is legal in like I want to say 19 of the United States right now, and it's weed. We out here, people are dying from alcoholism or blackout drunk and some accident happened or whatever, and alcohol is 100% legal, and if somebody even showed up to their drug test drunk or hungover, I doubt they would be suspended, as opposed to somebody THC pops up in their drug panel. But shut up, leave that girl alone. Just you need to just send her love and support, because quite honestly, like you said, literally the whole world. Yeah, it's the fucking Olympics. The whole world is looking at this girl.
We've seen this before with the girls of the gymnast team, the gymnastics team. Like they're on such a.
That's such a difficult place to be in.
Such a huge spotlight is on them,
and they're so young, and they're just like, I'm just trying to do what I'm good at. This is not being whether Olympic athlete or just an athlete. I'm not here for the celebrity. I'm not here for all of that. Like I'm here to do what I'm good at do.
Like,
right.
You're about to be an icon.
This is not like they're not Beyonce. They are not these music artists who are strategically putting work together for you to enjoy. Like that's the difference. I'm not here for your entertainment, bitch. I'm here to excel at my sport. I'm here to excel at my skill. I'm here to win gold medals. I'm not here to entertain you. If you're entertained by it, cute.
I'm sure we'll see. So I think that's number one. That's the bottom line about U.S. athletics is that when it's time, will you deliver? And I think that's all that's going to matter. So like, despite her getting suspended, forget it. Like I don't even think that
it's going to be a blip.
Yeah, it's going to be a blip. But what matters most to like the U.S. Track team, all that whole organization, all them U.S. Olympic Committee, all of them, is if she's placing gold, if she's getting gold. That's it.
Oh my God. Oh, that's fireworks. I was just thinking about that white guy who rides bikes who got caught doing blood transfusions.
Yeah, niggas is cheating all the time. If
Yeah,
you get
but I'm
caught,
saying
you
like
caught, yeah.
y'all. Okay, she got THC, and
Yeah,
this is
it's just
you know, the
THC,
timeline
yeah.
is very
And that's
long.
the
Like,
scale. Yeah. I feel you what you're saying. I'm not even, to me, I can't even acknowledge those people because they don't have perspective. Like we've seen this all before. We've seen this with these Olympic athletes. We've seen it with these people are not in comparison to her, but I'm saying we've seen these similar stories with Olympic athletes who get caught up in things, and they go down and they come up. They go down, they go up, they come up. And then what it
because
really
it's a
matters,
very different thing. It's a very different thing. Again, they're not music artists or movie stars. Like, they're not celebrities.
These people
they're not celebrities. Some people do become celebrities. Like LeBron.
She's 21 years old, bro.
Yeah.
She's not trying. Like, I think what she's trying to tell you through her brand is she is what she is, bro. Like, I think deciding like with her image and all her, like how she's coming out with it. Like, I am what I am. She's saying she is what she is. And
she was even tweeting like, I'm human.
Yeah,
like,
and it is what it is, bro. If y'all going, I feel like she's putting it out on the line and saying if I'm gonna get fined for it, I'm gonna get fined for it. All right, it is, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna play Skull, and we'll see. Like, when it's time to see, you know, will she play Skull? And I think that's what matters most to U.S.
Yeah,
all the track, all of them, and that's all they care about. That's all the niggas care about. Yeah, they have to give her the thing because it's in a rule book. Like, you get caught, you get caught. These niggas be cheating left and right. Left and
like,
right.
how did he not get caught?
Baby,
cheat. That's an IV.
Yeah, they cheat left and right. Olympic athletes are professional athletes, I feel like, as a whole.
That's so wild to me. That is so wild to me still to this day.
Rampant cheating on all accounts. All the time, nonstop.
And the wildest thing is, this girl ain't cheating. For her to run that fast and be a weed smoker, whether she's a weed smoker or she just smoked it that day. My God.
And most of the people on the US track scene, they smoke weed. That's a given. So I don't even think we got to talk about that. I'm sure. All them Jamaicans, they smoking weed. Usain Bolt smokes weed. The fastest man smokes weed. So what? Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
the fastest
we are not perpetuating.
The fastest swimmer ever smokes weed.
Yeah, we're not perpetuating either that all Jamaicans smoke weed. That is a stereotype. We are not saying that.
No,
at all.
I know we're not saying that, but I'm saying Usain Bolt. I know Usain Bolt smokes weed.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Anyway, more power and healing to Sha'Carri and all you respectability elitist ass motherfuckers who want her to be y'all's next black girl magic queen. Shut the fuck up and leave that girl alone and let her just run.
Yeah, that's solid. Like,
yeah, leave her alone. Let her run. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let us explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Now, we're moving on to the segment where we talk about things that we've been doing or that interest us that aren't necessarily trending topics. So we'll start with what we've been watching, although that's what we ended on last time, but it doesn't really matter. Is that what you want to?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a car.
No. Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not worried about the car.
Oh, I was, because you just looked. Whatever. Anyway.
I was listening to you.
What we have watched. Well, LaRon has watched 2 Disney Channel original movies that he's never seen before, and we're going to discuss them. The first one that you watched was Can of Worms, which, general synopsis: there's this computer science nerd. He's in high school. Who, I think he's in high school. He's a genius. He's a computer science genius, and he feels like he is an alien and was left on Earth because he's like so different and not like everybody else. So he something happens at school where he thinks he's cool with people, and then they embarrass him and play him, and then he runs home and sends a signal to space like, please come get me, I'm on this oppressive planet. White guy who this white boy in high school has access to, I don't even know how much technology, like the amount of technology he has is like, who's paying for this? Oh, and also his dad is like, forget that computer science stuff, you need to play football.
Yeah, I was gonna say that in my.
So I guess that's a little bit of a plot without any spoilers.
With my review of it, yeah, that was so. Yeah, can of worms, bro. Like,
yeah, tell the people how you feel about it.
All right, so. All right, I feel like bottom line, like if you stripped Can of Worms of like all the corny like Disney Channel tropes and like the way that they try to appeal to kids, it's kind of like a solid sci-fi movie, like the concept, right?
Yeah,
right. Like if you just stripped everything down and got rid of like all the corny stuff, it's kind of like a solid, like almost like a Twilight Zone. Like if you watch the Twilight Zone, to open it and be like, kid sets off like computer in his backyard. Oh, come get me up! I'm not from here. I'm not from here. That's how it would have opened in the Twilight Zone. It just would have opened from that scene.
And it did open from that scene.
It did, yeah. When it was a flashback, yeah, that's right. It did open from that. All right, but they had to do the flashback because it's a feature film, so it was like, all right, hold up. All right, but yeah, it's like a legit sci-fi movie. So it kind of really reminds me a lot of like the Twilight Zone. Like I mentioned that when I was what I was just saying. It seemed like a Twilight Zone episode. And it, bro, like what? The thing that blows my mind with these Disney Channel movies is the incompetent parents. Like their parents are. Ed mentioned it earlier, but like the dad, he's like, "Oh, you doing all this stuff, this computer science stuff." But this kid is a legit computer genius. Like he's legit. Like he can do anything with a computer. Give him a piece. He's that good. The kid should be going to like MIT. But his dad's trying to get him to like play football,
and he sucks. It's not even like he's good at both.
His dad he's got this kid locked in to trying to like be a high school football great for some reason, but he's a legit computer genius, legitimately.
I mean, some stuff didn't make sense in terms of the
jargon. He's just, of course, like it's a kid's movie, so they're just spamming jargon. Like he's just saying like the transfigular CPU drive optics neural thing. Like he'll just say a whole bunch of words. But
and I'm like, okay, whatever, Einstein, nerd.
And then like he was like, oh yeah, he said like something like kind of sacred. He said some kind of like octahedron. Oh no, he said
dodecahedron.
No, it wasn't dodecahedron.
That's a Nick Jr. commercial.
Yeah, I remember. That's why I laughed. Tesseract. That's what he said. He was like the Tesseract. Does a Tesseract exist in third dimension?
Yeah. When his sister was like, "Oh, so the CPU."
She's like, "Yeah, you're definitely not from this planet."
And it's like, what? No, he read something. Because he could not even. I mean, despite the movie, he could have just read that and like memorized that from what he read. That doesn't mean I'm from another planet. It's just that's the Disney-fied part of the movie where it's like, yeah, you're not from this planet. You're not from this family. You must be adopted.
So then, of course, he goes to school, and then there's like a cruel joke that they play on him, and then like he goes home.
There's like this popular kid who's also a computer science genius, and they were having like a computer science genius battle. Remember? And so,
wait, what?
You don't remember that with the pig? He put the boy's face on the pig body.
Saying, "Oh, he's his Mandark." Like he's his.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he's not his Mandark because his Mandark is cool.
Mandark
was not cool. Okay. Mandark and Dexter were nerds, and people did not see it for them.
True.
But he was like his Mandark. But the main character, like clearly, not even one up them, like 10 up them, with like his feedback to the whatever.
Yeah, so then that happens, and then he goes
like hacking
home.
Email and shit.
He sets off the thing in his backyard. He's got this this kid has built a legitimate antenna. I don't know why I keep saying legit.
A huge.
He's built an antenna in his backyard.
Like a big satellite.
Yeah, a huge satellite. Huge. Very big.
And it's all this other equipment that's like connected to one another.
He presses the button, it goes off. There's like a lightning storm. It gives it enough power to send off a big enough signal. Apparently through
the entire.
Not even. It had to have been through like dimensions, because I'm thinking when they told me about this movie, when Eb told me about this movie, I'm thinking it's gonna be like aliens, like these boys is coming over in spaceships. These boys came through portals.
Yeah.
These is different kind of aliens, bro. These is different. There's different levels to aliens. And when your aliens is coming through like non-existent portals and
just out of thin air, literally.
Yeah, that's like some trans-dimensional alien type stuff. That's next level alien. So that's one of the things that blew my mind about the movie. I'm like, oh, this movie's crazy. This kid, he's got like the weird aliens that can make things disappear and they can affect reality. They have all these powers. Like, yeah, that's a different level of alien. Yeah, that's like some that's some Batmite type stuff. Like, it's weird. So, then I'm trying to think what else. All right, so then all the aliens, they come there again. They're these strange, hyper personified, almost like sprite aliens that like float around or like wobble around. Either like these really weird puppets, or they're like a floating CGI sprite graphic type thing. One was like a dolphin, like a fin head. She was really weird. She was like aquatic kind of. Then they had the sludge guy who comes through like drain portals, like fucking the slime from the Mario Brothers movie. Everybody, I don't know. I'm sure someone, because we got double digit listeners. I think.
Not yet.
I think we do. Like we have a single digit, but I think that there's some unregistered listeners. Probably.
Okay, I mean, we'll get there.
All right, so
maybe one of the triple digits by the time somebody's listening to this.
I'm sure someone that's listening to this has seen the Super Mario Brothers movie, and you remember like the ooze, like fungi, sludge. Like that's what this guy looked like. He was green. And he would come through like these drain portals.
And he was disgusting.
He was a lawyer, wasn't he? A lawyer? No, he was an agent. He was an agent, and he wanted to represent this kid. He's like, "Yeah, you're a fucking genius, dude. You're gonna fucking shock the whole galaxy.
Yeah, we're
gonna put you on the screens. You came from a planet.
I think he was the lawyer because he's like a slimy lawyer.
Was he? I guess
he was the lawyer. There was the salesperson who was the guy with those weird shoes.
Yeah, he was like the TV guy. There was one guy who was like, his portal was a TV, and he was like a
and then there was the dog who's just like, I'm smart.
Like TV, like I don't know what the fuck it was supposed to be. It was really weird. It actually reminded me a lot of like a kid's version of American Gods.
Okay.
So that's how weird the movie was for me. I'm like, this movie's really weird. But then at the end, like the last alien is like this super predator alien
who like collects specimens on every planet, I guess, from every dimension like for his zoo.
The gum or the trong or the krong or the
something.
The crack.
The crack.
Some shit like that.
Crack.
They call that nigga something like the drog or the grag.
Yeah.
The crag.
Like that, yeah.
The
something.
Mac.
I don't remember.
Shit like that. Yeah, he like, I don't know, he looked like not Flick, but the fucking bug from Bug's Life, the nigga that tried to kill Flick. He looked like him. Like
the grasshopper?
Yeah. Like the giant Scar. What was his name? He like a giant version of that nigga.
I haven't seen that in a very long time.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. And it was like a friends come together, like they recruited the bully to help.
No, they didn't come together to they were trying to kill that nigga. Yeah. To stop him or whatever. Yeah, to get they had to get so then it comes this is what I mean about this being a legit sci-fi movie. like with legit sci-fi movies, there's always got to be like a twist at the end where it's like, oh, it was a little bit more than you thought it was, huh? You thought, yes, we transcending space and time with this movie. So, at the end or towards the end, they go into the Krog's dimension or his ship or whatever
the villain, yeah,
his Kryptonian spaceship where he's got the life forms. This is a complete jack on like Brainiac. He was complete jack on Brainiac, but he's got all the space life forms
it's
all on
his.
It's basically a zoo. They're like going through there. They see their buddies that he kidnapped early in the movie. Yeah, when the nigga came through, he kidnapped them. You didn't mention that, but yeah,
whatever. Yeah, two people were kidnapped from Earth. Well, one was kidnapped or snatched up, and the other was used as bait for them to be able to get to the portal. To
that's not important. Yeah, it ain't important. We get them. They get their buddies back, but then he sees somebody he recognized before.
Oh, because there's a story that he
vision. Yeah,
no,
but
I don't know if it was a vision.
Characters.
Was it a vision?
Yeah, he had been having. He said earlier he had been having the visions, but he made the characters.
Yeah, so he drew like the story about this alien
That's
family
how
or whatever, and the specimen was actually, or that species
he told
was actually in the zoo.
Yeah, this is where that's where it got on.
Sorry, we didn't say spoil. Whatever, it's an old.
That's what
movie.
I was getting. I was getting to that word, but that's where it got all. What's the name?
It's on Disney Plus. It's an old ass movie. Go watch it. I mean, it doesn't even matter if we give spoilers. You will not be prepared for what these aliens look like.
Interstellar. That's when it got Interstellar. When you found out that they were his characters, or he had either thought them up, or
they already existed.
And he had been getting like telepathic,
messages.
Like thought forms from them. Like that's how he knew about. So that's what I meant. Like this is like it's kind of legit like sci-fi. I feel like it could have been a series if you took out all the like goofy stuff and like you broke it down. That could be a series, and you put like different tones into it. I mean the story beats. That's what I mean. Like the stripped down story beats, not the goofy tone. You could take the dad conflict out and make it something else or whatever. You know what I mean? But other than that, bro, I appreciated the movie. I picked it because it looked weird as fuck when I seen the cover. Mm-hmm. But it turned out to be like...
Rated on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 being the best.
Well, how I look at it now, like a 7. Yeah.
A 7?
Yeah, like a 7.
Okay.
Yeah. Like how I view it now. Because...
How'd you view it before?
No, I mean, like, I've had time to think about it. And, like, there was thought, kind of. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I don't know if I would want my kid watching that shit, because I would... I feel like my kid would be scared of shit out of
I'm telling you, them aliens are... I
don't
know who they consulted. Yeah, I don't know what acid they was on.
They weren't like not Jordan. They weren't like Star Wars, like cute, weird aliens. These niggas were like really fucking weird looking. The only one that was the least weird looking one was the
dog.
Femme aquatic.
There was the dog. That dog is an alien.
The dog
with the translation piece on his neck, but it was just a dog. It was a dog with a set of lips on his neck, and not actually in its neck, but it was like a translation device on
But then they like made it seem like they were buddies, and I didn't get that. Like they made it seem like him and the dog was like we've bonded. Like no,
because he's a dog and he's a human, and dogs are humans' best friend.
A week.
Yeah, but
and I've been getting chased by aliens.
Yeah,
you being
because he's also supposed to be one of the more intelligent, or if not most intelligent, of the alien life forms that came through to him. He's also a dog.
It made me think of Parasite as well, like because there's some stuff that's going on. I don't know. All right, so the other movie we watched was Genius. Yeah, we watched Genius. Genius was it was good.
Yeah,
I felt like it was good.
Let's give him a synopsis.
Yeah, you want to? I feel like you're good at this.
So Genius is a movie about another white boy who's really smart. Computer science. Well, not even computer science, but science. Oh my God, computer, stop. Stop. Computer, stop. Stop. we have the wake up word as COMPUTER for our Alexa instead. But he's a science genius, and in middle school, in junior high, so much so that he is going to college. He applied to Harvard and a couple other schools, and this boy's dad was really like happy about him being smart and was like, "Oh, you're going to go to Harvard?" And he was like, "Nah, I want to go to this other school." And he's like, "What? Why don't you want to go to Harvard?" He was like,
the inverse of
where he was a little bit too much like a helicopter parent, I guess, or a bulldozer parent. But he respected his choice at the end. But anyway, he's really smart in science, but he doesn't have any friends. People make fun of him for being a nerd and being really smart and everything. And he's also so smart that he ends up teaching courses at the same time that he is enrolled as a student at the school, which is also weird because how has their like junior high started before the college semester started? Anyway, he lives on campus, and then he's walking with like the dean of students, who's seen as like this money grubbing asshole, walking, and he's like, "Why am I teaching the class?" He's like, "'Cause you're the smart one. You're going to teach this class." Of course, he bumps into the jocks of the school, and they're like assholes. They're the hockey team. The boy, this is also different, where it's science and sports is, you know, the whatever. In Can of Worms, he didn't care for football. He just wanted aliens and science. In Genius, he's really good at science and really good at hockey, and he really loves hockey. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess that's basically the synopsis. He goes to the college to work with, be the research assistant or whatever to this scientist that he like adores and like fanboys over, essentially, and is like, "Oh my god, this guy is amazing. He's learned so much from his books and stuff." So he gets to work with him, and that's why he wanted to go to that school. And he gets there, the equipment's kind of old. The hockey team hates the scientist and therefore hates him. And of course he rooms with one of the hockey players, and yeah, and then it's just kind of like things ensue. He ends up getting a crush on the dean of students. No, the hockey coach's daughter.
Yeah.
Which the hockey coach hates him because the lab is right under the hockey rink, because the hockey rink keeps whatever that science thingy contraption they have cool enough so it doesn't overheat or whatever.
Which is, bro, there's so much crazy. First of all, that's insane.
That sounds very unethical at the least, and unhealthy at the most, where like I feel like there'd be some cancerous radioactive emissions coming from there, or whatever.
That don't even make sense.
I'm actually not that good at the synopsis. I'm pretty much telling the story at this point. But it's a story about this genius boy who goes to college, gets a crush on a girl, and, you know, is trying to mesh his loves of science and hockey.
Yeah, Genius is...
And make friends.
Another one where I felt like it could have been like a CW show. Like, where like...
Oh, wait, I forgot the most important part. He makes up a personality.
Oh, yeah.
So that he makes friends. And
is that the most important part, though?
That's the conflict.
So much. There's
so much to it.
Yeah,
so
like they did a lot.
His name is Charlie.
Necessary.
He creates this character Chaz, who's like a goof, because he meets the girl. He meets the girl, and he goes off of this advice, or just a statement that the scientist that he's working with said. He said something basically like, a good scientist doesn't keep doing the same thing to get a different result. So when he met the girl, he was like, "I'm not going to be the same person. I'm going to be somebody different." So he tells her he's Chaz. And that he's like, "What school do you go to?" And she says Franklin. He's like, "Oh, I go there too." He hacks the school's system and makes himself a new student, to go to the school. And then he goes to the school. He acts like the cool guy. He goofs off in class. He's disrespectful to the teacher. He fails his classes. He pretends to be stupid so that the girl could tutor him. But he has to keep going back and forth from the college to the school, from the college to the school, because he's playing these two different people. And of course, because it's the local college there, the junior high is going to take a field trip there to meet him, because he's like a kid genius. And the teacher at the junior high is telling Chaz, who is still Charles, is like, "You need to meet Charlie because he's so smart, and you could really learn a thing or two." He can't completely hide that he's a genius, because to goof off in class, he rigged the skeleton in class with science and technology to basically dance for him. Like, he had like a little remote control thing. He made the skeleton dance. So the teacher recognizes, like, you have some potential and you're really intelligent. I just wish you would use it for good. And then they're going to go on the class trip, and then he's supposed to go. And then it's just like hijinks ensue. He's running back and forth, changing clothes, being a different person, all that kind of stuff. That's the Disney Channel part of it. But that is a really important part where he's living two separate lives. And then eventually those two lives meet one another, and then he's like the jerk to everybody because whatever. You go ahead and because you're gonna reveal some stuff too. So you go ahead and give your review of Genius.
Bro, all right, so again, like I was saying, like
I'm just checking the time. We're good.
Genius is definitely like something I feel like it could have been a series. There's so much stuff about it that it's so goofy it doesn't make any sense. like you mentioned, it's like they almost have like a collider, like a particle collider.
Yeah, they're trying to like split atoms and defy gravity and
underneath a hockey rink that millions of people go to. Like, well, not millions of people, but like
people are there all the time.
Of people are like meeting up for this team's game, and they're running a particle collider underneath while all of this is going on. Like,
because it keeps it cool enough.
I'm absolutely sure that that's in violation of like some kind of energy like thing, or it's in violation of something.
Yeah, and the dean of students really doesn't give a shit. He just wants money. So he's like, you can keep doing your science thing and you can keep doing your hockey thing. Y'all just need to bring me money. And the hockey team sucks.
All right, and then there's this thing with these Disney movies where like for some reason they're just violating like child's rights, like left and right. They got this kid in the damn university teaching a class. How old is this boy?
He's in junior high, so he might be like 11 or 12 or 13.
Why
maybe
is he
14.
teaching a class?
12, 13,
he's a
14.
genius.
Yeah.
And the kid doesn't have any damn credentials besides the fact that he's passed.
Forget credentials. He's not mature enough to teach a class. He's never had to teach a class before. Teaching a class, and I'm teaching a class now, and I'm not even teaching. It's like all online. But teaching a class takes much more than here's some information. And that's the issue with professors anyway in colleges, because quite honestly, he is qualified. If he is an expert in his field, you can be, and you have a certain, he's not qualified because he doesn't have a master's degree or anything like that. But most professors are just experts in their field. They're not taught how to teach. They're not experts at instruction or teaching. They're just experts in their field. So, but also it's a Disney Channel movie where it's like, yeah, you're the first kid to go to space kind of stuff, where like I'm waiting for that movie to happen. But, they're just kind of like all these exceptions in like Disney Channel world where it's like, yeah, we're going to have this kid go to college and he's going to teach the class at the same time because the hockey team is in the class and he has to have more conflict with them.
Then they want me to say that like they want to make their dad likable, and their dad is just like okay with their son teaching a class, and he ain't even thinking about it. His son is like,
because he's probably bringing him money.
His son is calling him like, Dad, I don't know what to do, I can't. And he's like, yeah,
keep at it, bud. You can do it,
boyo. You can get it. Just keep swinging. Like, what? This is the worst advice you can ever give me. I'm trying to teach a class, bro.
Any other parent be like, I'm pulling my baby out.
I'm running a particle accelerator.
Yeah.
And
he don't know. He don't
know.
And
teaching a class, and I'm
on physics. any parent who isn't exploiting their child, because I don't think that's what's happening here with the dad. He's just like, chase your dreams. I support you, kid. Any parent in real life will be like, I'm snatching my baby right up out of here. Bro. Y'all will not have my child in these difficult and challenging scenarios when they haven't even gone through fucking puberty.
And that's exactly my point. If I was when I was a kid, right? Right? And
we couldn't even teach each other fucking hand claps, man.
Not even that, bro. I'm watching this Disney movie. I'm like, I can't turn my head off to this. I can't like not be like, this is crazy. Like, there's no way that this 14-year-old, I mean, he's not even 14, can be teaching his class. He's running a particle accelerator downstairs. He's chasing some girl. He's created for himself.
And we haven't seen him take any classes. So it's like, are you in college? Or did you completely skip all education levels and you're now an expert because you're so smart? Like, we missed that. He was never in class in college. He was never in class in college.
Bro,
except when he was teaching.
None of this. All right. Even on top of that, he's creating an alternate personality. And he's also going to school at another school.
Mm-hmm. At the same time. So this is a lot. He should be exhausted. He needs to go see the counseling center. Like, and
This
the dean is like, get it together. I want some money.
This is the main thing that I'm thinking about when I'm watching this movie. Like, this kid is doing a lot. He is a genius, and the title of the movie is Genius, and he very much is a genius. I think his parents have completely failed him. All the adults around him have failed him. He asked for advice from his coworker. His coworker told him, "I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I just try not to cry when I read comic books at night or some crazy shit like that."
Because he is also not even antisocial. He didn't have friends either. He's like, I mean, I didn't so it's kind of like, this is what you could be.
You absolutely right.
He's like,
right?
I ain't have no friends, so I don't have no advice for you. All I can tell you is what I know from science.
He is very much like the tragic mentor type. Like,
he's a mess.
All right. But all the adults around,
he does hold him accountable when he does mess up, though. He's like, Charlie, I can't be a part of this. This is a mess. And then he ends up being part of it.
Yeah, because he works there too. He can't lose his job. He already told you that this job is all I got. He told you that when he came through the door. He was like, nigga, this job is all I got. I'm not letting y'all fuck this up for me.
And they did.
They fucked it up. Yeah, they definitely fucked it up. Right. All right, and then it works out. First of all, you got to bet on genius, bro. Because first of all, this kid's doing mad stuff all at once, and he ruins everything, and he can still fix everything. The kid's a genius. So regardless, it doesn't matter. He's a genius. Everything worked out all right. But I actually like Genius a lot. I would probably give it a 7 along with.
Yeah, that's not everything that happened in the film either. There was some really, I mean, of course, at the end it got hella Disney. It was like Disney is woven throughout the movie, and then at the end it's like
crazy.
Disney to the
max.
He
fixed it by
doing more Disney stuff.
Yeah, developing anti-gravity, like basically these things that they made to bro, I'm not about to explain this movie. I'm not about to say the plot of this movie out loud.
I will say, though, that this movie is much better than I remember it being.
It's a good movie.
I would rate it higher than Can of Worms.
I think that, again, both of these movies, I feel like they suffer for, like, what their benefit was what they were. Like, goofy Disney movies.
Friendship always wins in the end.
Yeah, if you took kind of, like, the idea and then, like, you tried to make it, like, cool, like I was saying before, like, it could be a CW show and it might make you some more money. Like a young adult book. Like a young adult novel book. Like, both of them, I think they could definitely be those kind of IPs. But as goofy Disney movies, I both give them 7s. I'm not even... Bro, they cheat.
They cheat what?
The movie's insane. They cheat.
You're saying they're just like, we're just gonna make this shit up. It doesn't matter.
This shit is crazy.
But that's Disney Channel. I mean, we can even look at something like...
The guys are cheating, so the kids cheat.
Oh, in the movie. You're saying adults. Actually in the plot. Yeah. So,
that's like...
Is it... I mean, it is insane. Cheating, but it's cheating that cancels out the other cheating is what they were doing.
No, that's why... First of all, you gotta... This movie, I had to turn my mind off.
Game in the movie.
I'm like, I gotta turn my mind off. This is nuts. Because they're cheating. Both sides are cheating. Everybody's cheating. They're using technology. And they're just doing old-fashioned cheating. This game can't even stand. Like, it can't be an official game. Somebody is levitating during the game. How can we ever...
Yeah, and that was never investigated.
How can this be an official game?
It was never investigated or
throwing
anything.
This game out. Like... They would come to find out, there's a particle accelerator, and they've been working on...
defying gravity and splitting atoms and shit.
Yes, they've been working on research and development projects, and that's why people are levitating. Like, the U.S. government needs to be here. Like, this is serious. Like, that's what I'm saying. This movie
all of that
is nuts.
That's the Disney part of it, where it's
both
like,
of these movies,
here is same thing as Can of Worms because nothing happened. It was just like, oh, aliens were here and now we're all safe.
The scale, credits. Yeah, exactly. The scale of these movies is obscenely like large in a small space.
Like nobody saw that satellite in their backyard and was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, what's going on?
In Can of Worms, they were just like, yeah, he's a nerd.
That should have came up on somebody else's meter. Somebody.
I'm like, there should have
been
emissions?
Black helicopters that showed up before the aliens ever got there.
No, but what happened was the intergalactic police force came and arrested the villain. They called the intergalactic cops. That was it. That was the only authoritative presence in the whole entire film.
Yeah,
and then they were just like, "Yep, back to middle school." pimples, puberty, cookies, crushes. Like, what?
They were both solid movies, though. I appreciated both of them. They easily could be something cool. They easily could be like a manga or an anime or like some kind of CW show, or like I was saying, Can of Worms kind of reminds me of Parasite a little bit, or like kind of like I wrote here in my notes. I can't remember. I just say I mentioned the Twilight Zone, but there's this manga artist, Juno Ito. I can't think how you pronounce his name, but he writes like cosmic horror, and that's kind of like what Can of Worms. It's like, that's scary, bro. Like that's what kind of like cosmic horror is about. Like
I mean, I don't know. It seems more Are You Afraid of the Darkest? For me,
exactly. It is like that.
Yeah.
But
even
then
Goosebumps.
Exactly. It is very Goosebumps. It is that. But then sometimes some Goosebumps stories, the scale is quite large. Like sometimes some stories are like what were we watching? The one with the piano. That's insane. Like, what? she died. She took his hands. How did she? I guess she bled to death.
I guess so. I don't know. It's not clear.
So the kid ends up...
You just die if you don't have hands. That's what it seemed like.
The kid ends up going to piano lessons. Oh, this guy's kind of weird. He keeps talking about my fucking hands. He's trying to tell his parents, yo, this guy keeps like, he's tripping. He's really weird. He keeps talking about my fucking hands. All right. They're like, yeah, just keep going, boyo. Just keep push on through. Push on through. So they send him back.
And this man tries to take his fucking hands.
And no, that's not what happened. He sees a fucking ghost. Hold on, because it escalates. Hold on, wait.
He's been seeing
No. First, the guy was weird about his hands. It escalated. Hold on, wait. I remember the escalation every time.
This is the Goosebumps story.
Every time he went back, it escalated more. He seen a ghost. He was weird about his hands, and then he seen the fucking ghost. Right? Then he didn't say nothing about it. Then he went back and seen the ghost again. He didn't say nothing about it the first time because he didn't think they would believe him. He seen it again. Then he mentioned it to him. Then he went back and it was a robot. Remember?
Yes.
And the guy was a robot. And then the nigga came out and was like, the robot's fucking tripping. I guess I have to take his hands myself. Mm-hmm. And then the ghost showed up and got the guy.
Yeah. And then he had to play the piano under her.
That's some
for the rest
Ito
of his
shit. That's some like horror. Like that's a kind of a crazy story. But when it's told like through like a kid's story with those tones and everything, it's like, but what? That's mind bending. The guy, my piano teacher, was a robot. And then some dude, just some huge man comes out who's bigger than the robot and even scarier looking than the robot comes out. And he's like, this fucking robot's tripping. Oh, I guess I have to take his hands. Let me see those hands. Guess I have to take them on my own. What the fuck?
That's that shit y'all was watching as kids. Y'all love y'all some fucking Goosebumps.
Goosebumps was lit, man. I had the books. I had the books, bro. I was reading them too, man.
Yeah, no, I was reading Gossip Girl and this Dragon series.
Gender roles. Should have joined the Goosebumps side. Should have joined the...
Gossip Girl was a good book.
You should have joined
good series.
It wasn't better than
I don't
Goosebumps.
like scary stuff. I would never look at Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark.
It wasn't better than more scary stories. It wasn't better.
I wasn't watching it. I've already told you Gremlin scares me, so I'm not watching none of that shit. I'm just
talking about the quality. Goosebumps icon.
I would never know. I would never know. I'm not watching Are You Afraid of the Dark to this day.
Bumps. You see it in the sky when you think.
I knew
about
Goosebumps was supposed to be scary.
You don't see Gossip Girl in the sky when you see Goosebumps. Dun, 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 dun. You see that G. You know that G.
Well, Gossip Girl's being remade, so
you know the tune. What's Gossip Girl's tune?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I know they played Frank Ocean on one of the episodes. It was hella Frank Ocean songs.
All right, they got it.
Yeah, they fucking. That was one of the best episodes too. But they're remaking the show now, with like a more diverse cast.
Gossip Girl.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. But
is that the one with Zoe Deschanel?
No. You know what? I don't even know. She looks like 5 other white ladies. But no, no, the white girl who married the guy who plays Daredevil, not Daredevil, the pansexual hero superhero who's like a menace.
Draken?
What? No, he's a Marvel, DC, whatever.
Draken is a Marvel game.
No, baby, not Draken. He wears red and black. And it's adult movie, but people took their kids to see it because they're like, oh yeah, it's a superhero movie, and he was like hella crude.
Oh, Deadpool.
Yes, Deadpool. The guy who plays Deadpool, she married him on a plantation. She's on the show. Original Gossip Girl. I don't know her real name. Blake Lively?
Married him on a plantation.
Yeah, they got married on a plantation.
I never I don't know if we'll use this segue to another topic because I gotta get something to drink or whatever.
We can.
But people liking celebrities just because they like the celebrity is always really weird to me because you don't really know that person.
Hell no.
And like they could be like closet racist or they could just be blatant racist, and not even just racism. In fact, it could be like way worse than that, than what you just hate.
Yeah, I mean, them getting married on a plantation is not a blatant racism thing. White people really think plantations are beautiful, and it is the sickest thing ever, and it's not something that they're consciously thinking about. Like, you're getting married where black people were enslaved, murdered, beaten.
You saying like that time period, like...
No, like now. White people get married on plantations right
No,
now.
I'm saying like people like that aesthetic, like they like those
like cottagecore kind of, yeah. They think
like,
it's like a really romantic place, and it's like... First of all, I think you're setting your marriage up for some bad juju, where your white ass is going to go get married on a plantation where there are millions of black bodies and souls and energy and spirit that is there that experienced tragedies that we don't even know.
I'm gonna let them do what they want.
For sure. But yeah, so Serena from the original Gossip Girl TV show got married on a plantation, if I'm correct, with that Ryan guy. Deadpool. Yeah. Deadpool and Serena Vanderwoodson got married on a plantation. That's her character name.
He is pretty much like Deadpool now, especially with like how he be like blurring that line all the time. He pretty much is Deadpool. Yeah.
Well, that'll segue us into the next segment of the podcast, because this was a pretty long segment. But it was a good one. I'd agree. I mean, of course I'd agree. I just said it. Would you agree?
I agree.
Okay, we agree. Next segment. So for our last segment, we'll just call this miscellaneous. Yeah, miscellaneous, because it's just a bunch of whatever other shit we want to talk about until we find a better name for it. You know, and things will progress as they go on. But something I did have on the list was, and it's not even really something worth talking about, I don't think, but scrolling on TikTok, there are a lot of people who go off on the internet. Like, they're on the internet popping off at the mouth and like talking, not even talking shit, but it's like legitimate things that people are saying and talking about, but there's so much assertiveness and passion behind what they're saying. And also like people who are like, yeah, you know, these motherfucking crackers and these colonizers and these cis people and these cis heads and all that kind of stuff, and being really... Yeah, I mean, it's not even name calling. Cishet isn't even a name call. It's like you're cisgender and you're heterosexual. It's just like whatever. But not even the name calling, but it's like a lot of passion. And I'm only saying crackers and colonizers because I follow black people who are calling out white people for their racist shit. I'm just... a lot of this I have witnessed increasing during the pandemic. We are still in the pandemic, BT dubs. But I've noticed it because we're all home and people are on the internet. So I posed the question to LaRon, like, I don't know, several times, just like, I wonder how this dynamic is going to play out when we go back out in public, because I'm going to be 100% honest. I have no idea how I'm going to react if somebody calls me a nigger. I have no clue. I might just not do anything because I'd like to not be murdered either by them or by police if it's escalated to that degree or something. But I'm just thinking of like stuff like that happens.
So we're saying like people are like more likely to escalate things. Like people are just more bold.
People are very bold on the internet right now. And I'm not talking about people who are calling out problematic, racist, homophobic, whatever behavior as if like them being bold on the internet is like, oh, you bold behind a computer. But like, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just really wondering because this time in quarantine and in the pandemic has allowed a lot of content creators time to be able to create content and gain popularity and gain large audiences who didn't have that before the pandemic. And so I'm just wondering, and some of those people are people who are calling out the first well, I think that she would give buckle people in real life anyway, head of the hoochies. But I'm just thinking about other people who are bringing that same energy on social media, how that will play out in real life. And I'm not saying that they're fake or phony about it, but like they didn't have that, or maybe they did, but they didn't have this large presence that they didn't have before. They didn't have this large presence before the pandemic, and now that they do, and now that the world is opening back up, people will be out in public, and because of the presidency that we had just gotten out of, that has further emboldened bigoted people, like, because it's not even about people that I would probably be siding with who are calling out, bigoted behavior, but people who are bigots, who also have been like big upped and have really big platforms, who are supported by other bigots. Like, what is that dynamic about to be out in public? I mean, there's also like the pandemic babies, people who like babies who are born during the pandemic. I think there's a hashtag like quarantine kids. Like, one baby was barking at kids when they were at the park because like they've never been socialized with other babies. They've only seen their parents, and they've only seen people on TV, and they can't interact with people on TV. So it's like, I think ultimately what I'm thinking, and that's like the bold talking on the internet was a starting point, but like, what is the dynamic about to be when we go back into the world?
Like, I think
I'm not looking for an answer. I'm just really wondering.
Oh, I was going to say, I always try to look for like comparable things. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's a good way to how we can measure something or observe something, or like prepare for something or make change, whatever. So like with the shut-ins in Japan, they have like a generation for some reason there's a lot of people that they just were like shut-ins. They just stayed in the house. They stayed home. They didn't work. They relied on unemployment. Mm-hmm. There's like thousands of these people in Japan for some reason, right? So like they've tried different ways to integrate those people into society, but like it hasn't worked. I think we're gonna have to look at like the effect of like what the quarantine houses mentally like affected people. And I think the best way to look at that is like seeing like how shut-ins live and how like their lifestyle affects them. You know what I'm saying? Like these people, like I think some people are having a hard time adjusting.
For sure. I mean, I don't want to go back into the office full time.
And I think
which is nothing to the same degree as
no, but I mean it is a case, like it is something that we're dealing everybody's gonna have to deal with. Everybody, that's another additional thing, like something happened and now we all have to cope because of it, right?
Yeah, but
how should society adjust? Like,
I'm thinking about
and
just the
will
workforce,
it though?
Right?
Yeah, that's what I mean about
like people who are working.
That's really that's all that
I'm
matters.
out of here.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Jobs are like, yep, back to normal, let's go, and it's kind of like we can't. It's not going to work that way.
And that's and it's. I think a lot of the things that we talk about sometimes it ends up going back to capitalism because it's the mentality that like
money.
Yeah, that it's about the earnings, like the profit, and if I can't get my workforce back in, then that's completely messing up my bottom line. Yeah, and I'm about to make losses, but I gotta get these people in here, and I'm not about to take the time to implement like all do like trainings for like at home and like all this other, even though they probably could do it on the fly. Really, they could.
Yeah,
they probably really could. Maybe they need to hire project managers to make adjustments in their company to adjust to people's needs.
That's more money though.
Nah, maybe not necessarily.
That's a whole nother salary.
I mean, it is. You're gonna spend some more money, but I mean, it might not be nothing too crazy. If you're making these changes on the fly to stay home, you're gonna probably save money.
Maybe, I don't know.
But you're gonna spend money for the changes that you're gonna have to make though. But in the end, you might get it back.
Yeah, I mean, I know some companies are very much like controlling, and are like,
Yeah,
no, you're gonna
absolutely.
be in
Yeah,
the
because they want
office,
to
you're gonna be here
control
in
the work
person,
output. They want to control like
and people just quitting.
standards. Yeah,
Yeah,
they want to control like all that kind of stuff, like quality. Like, how can I control the quality of my workforce? And I also have staff that's hired to quality control, that's to
yeah,
oversee to manage them. How are they going to manage these people from? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to change my whole company structure.
yeah.
It's an impasse, but like it can be changed.
It
It's
can be,
it
but
can
they're
be
not gonna
changed.
want
Yeah,
to.
it can be changed. The bottom
I
line.
am not. I don't think it will. I think there are companies that are doing it, but majority, I don't think there are. But yeah, that was just a thought that I had. Just scrolling on TikTok one day, and just a lot of people who are like loudly talking or yelling. They're like yelling at their phone about whatever thing, and directing it at certain people or directing it at a certain person. Um, and just how all
And
this.
emotional maturity. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah,
there's a generation of people now that's gonna have to integrate into society, and
yeah.
maybe they social skills aren't up to par, and the emotional skills aren't up to par.
Maybe, I
To
don't know.
but
Which I think is
society can sustain itself. Like, come on, man. Let's look at other like super industrial superpowers in the world. They have all kinds of weird psychological like shit
yeah,
that's going on.
like social credit.
Yeah, like, I mean, I made the comparison with the Japanese shut-ins, but I'll use the common like Japanese work person. Like, they study them all the time, and it's like this complete dysfunctional mess. So you can still be profitable. They don't really care about that.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that's
they
it.
don't give a shit. They're like, oh, you have crippling anxiety and depression, and you're pretty suicidal. I need you in the office at 8:30 a.m.
Yeah,
No, no tears on the paperwork.
yeah.
You're going to smudge the ink, and then we'll have to reprint it again. No,
Yeah, it's really apparent. It's really apparent, and that's like, I just don't have the patience. Like, a lot
no.
of times, like, I feel like it can be costly, but you gotta kind of reaffirm
It's worth it in the end, and it's
humanity.
even more costly when everybody just quits.
Yeah,
People are quitting at mass numbers because they're like, I'm not standing for this no more. I
yeah,
enjoyed my life.
yeah. I had posted something on
Well, I don't want to say enjoyed
my
because
social media account, Instagram, on at Fireworld, PHIWRLD. I had mentioned, I had posted the Amazon story about how many people had quit.
mm-hmm.
Yes, that's an example of it. Like, they said that they can't even deal, like, but and they try their best to make it. I mean, I've been in the halls of Amazon buildings and stuff. They try to make it the best they can, but at the same time, it's kind of inhumane.
Yeah,
It's very sanitized and kind of like, but that's what happens when you work in a big company like these
yeah,
big companies. Like, I do think to some extent, like with Amazon, they are trying, but it's just such a big company. I think that there's some, um, but I do think that I don't even like Amazon as a company. Like, I think it's gotten way too big, but
yeah.
um, I think that they do try, but
Probably certain locations.
certain locations, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But I think like the structure, like the way that they had their company set up, they have a lot of people like. All right, so say you do one thing, there's like three other people that do the same thing that you do, helping you do what
what
you
I
do.
gotta do.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's a lot. It's too many people.
but to them, it's like you got the support you need to do what you need to
Is it the
do.
support or is it the burden of having to deal with other people?
No, they are almost like independent, but they like help you. They doing the same thing. Like, I don't know. It's almost like they are always overstaffed. Amazon.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah, okay.
it's like literally what I just said. Like, if there's one person doing a thing, there's probably like five other people doing. So, like, during quarantine, if you're a driver, you're going into this one place and they'll have like they're like checking people in basically like on a list or something like that, and then like checking your wristband or something like that, whatever. They'll have 12 people out doing it. It'd be excessive. It's excessive amount of people. Like, most of them are just standing there, just like with their hands and with a clipboard, like just standing there, or like with the helping the other guy. Like, oh yeah, I don't know. It's just how the structure of the company is. That's what I've observed. I've seen a lot of it in their warehouses. So maybe they think that that's help. I don't know. Or
That's
like,
a nightmare.
yeah, their
That's too many
logistics
damn
is
people for
nuts.
me.
Their logistics is crazy, and then they also do a lot of like outsourcing stuff. So like they have like their drivers, and then they have like somebody who's brought in other drivers, and you drive under Amazon, but and they have the same thing with like logistics. So each driving company has their own logistics. Like they do their own, but they separate the Amazon.
That's a lot. It's too much.
Weird, yeah.
Amazon's too powerful. But yeah, that was that about that. What else did we have to talk about? Oh, you're supposed to talk about swatting. I keep saying this.
Oh yeah, we were going to mention. All right, so a part of our miscellaneous things, we will bring up a gaming thing because I think we were saying like something lighter, lighten up the tone. Maybe I don't know.
No, it's just on here. I mean, sure, more fun, funner. I don't know.
Fun.
It don't matter to me. Whatever one talk. It's our podcast. We are the couple with opinions, and we gonna talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
All right, so I had learned recently about something that I never known about. I have me and Eb were both streamers. Eb is her stream. You want to share?
Yeah, so I'm the Busy Bee, TheBizibi on Twitch. I play video games on there.
Yeah, I'm workshopping my Twitch right now. I think
right now you're Black Odysseus.
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna change it and back to what it was. So I probably won't be streaming too much until I can change it back. But
gaming.
Oh yeah, I've been streaming for almost like 2 years, or maybe about 2 years. I just recently learned about something I never knew about something called swatting. I asked Eb about it. She said she never heard about it. I'm like, man, swatting, what is this? All right, so when I first started streaming, I knew that there were like little things that you had to look out for. You had to make sure you covering up your private information, or don't click on any links, and like, just make sure you keeping everything
Internet
covered.
Safety.
Yeah, basic stuff like duh. There's also like, you probably want to get VPN maybe or whatever. But I had seen that there's this thing going on where like somehow people get a hold of like streamers' address, and when they're streaming, they'll just call like the most like emergency services that you could call, like every emergency service to that person's house, like bomb people, SWAT teams, EMS. Like everything, they call everybody. Fire people, they call them to their house while they're streaming. All right, so you're saying it's terrifying, right? All right, so I'm about to escalate it even more for you.
Oh my God.
All right, so yeah. All right, so of course there's been all kinds of like instances where it's happened, like while people are streaming. A lot of times if you look up on YouTube and you can Google swatting, and you'll see videos of people on their stream standing up and putting their hands up, like or like everyone like running out of a room, or like all this kind of stuff, just because emergency services or like a SWAT team has shown up to their house thinking there's a bomb because these people called their people to them. All right, so escalating. There's one instance of a guy getting shot during a swatting where he was shot. Like, it's confirmed. I don't know if he died or not. I don't know. I can't remember the story. And then also this other guy got swatted while he was at an airport. They called a bomb threat at the airport he was at while he was on the airport. They said he was a terrorist. He was a Twitch streamer. He was doing a just chatting stream at the airport. They knew where airport he was at. They've seen his gate and his ticket because he had his ticket in his hand. They called the gate. They said this guy's a terrorist. He just put a bomb on the plane. He's wearing a purple hoodie, all this other stuff. So the kids on the plane, they come and take the kid off the plane, snatch the kid off the plane, take the people all off the plane. Then they come to find out, oh, he didn't have anything. There was nothing on the plane. The plane was completely delayed. Nobody's going nowhere. Then the guy goes on the news and is like, yeah, when they find out who I was, blah blah blah. He's telling everybody in the news and shit, and he's just like, I'm just devastated, all this kind of stuff. And then he had some kind of issue falling out with his family, and it was nuts, right? And so then there's one like some person got shot, and then this guy who got the bomb threat. But it happens, and I thought it blew my mind because one, I've never even heard of it. And I also learned that there's like a lot of like slang, there's like streamer slang that people use. That's like a subculture thing that I didn't even know about. I learned that from like watching a couple YouTube videos, but there's like this low key like streamer slang that not like streamer slang, but like Twitch culture slang that they use sometimes. Nothing like racist stuff, nothing crazy like that. But yeah, but the swatting thing was pretty nuts. And
And what is Twitch doing about it?
um,
Or YouTube or any, live streaming service?
I don't know. In the write up that I watched about it, they said that they've done like policy things and stuff like that. But I mean, there's nothing really they can do. Streamers just are gonna have to be careful about protecting that information or decide when they stream and just taking the utmost care. I mean, there's also been those instances of like stalking and like all these really weird stories that I just learned about. Like they're the size that Twitch is. I would think that there would be more instances of some of these crazy stories, but it's not as large. I was a bit surprised when I started like researching some of these things, but it's not as large as maybe like the craziness that goes on with YouTube or something like that. YouTube is like a universe unto it, so it's just too big. But swatting is really crazy.
Yeah, well, I'm terrified now, so.
Yeah. You gotta just make sure you protect your personal information, especially if you're a bigger streamer, you get a lot of attention, or just in general. I
I'm
mean,
not that, so.
yeah, no, I mean, just in general, you have
Yeah.
to make sure you protect. I mean, I could share. Like there's a story where this guy he thought he was being stalked. Like he was live streaming, guys walking. He's walking, and in the stream, you can see there's this guy that keeps walking, and the stream is like, "Yo, what's up with this guy? Like, we just seen him. It was 3 blocks away. We seen him hat. Like, he's like, the streamer's like, what? You know what I'm saying? He's like, all right, and then like he starts going different places, and he's like, the guy still like the chat, and the guy's like, yo, for real, I don't know, like, I don't know why this guy's foul, like, you know what I'm saying? So then the guy's like, the stream's like, just bank and turn completely other way, and then like, then it's So then he does it. He just full bank, turns around. The guy turns around behind him too. He starts following him, and then the guy like he keeps going, and he's about to go across the street to confront the guy with the hat. And the guy was like, "No, I was a fan. I didn't really know how to say hi." Like he was like, "I'm sorry," like, da 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 da, and like he apologized. And then like some like his friend who he was with comes running, like he coming to meet him, and then and he's like, yeah, and then they apparently like I don't know. So it turned out,
The end of that sentence sucked, but
that's what the story like. It was a really weird story, but that's why you gotta protect you gotta be mindful. Like if you decide to,
it's just as a woman, it's really fucking terrifying.
Oh, absolutely. But I think if you take the proper channels of protection, then I think awareness can trump fear. Like if you're aware, it can help guard against like just being frozen by fear. Like if like I'm every time I stream, I've got like nothing up on my, nothing, no address, no sensitive information. I got a VPN. I'm running my VPN, and I'm not sharing any sensitive information in chat, and nothing to, that's it. I don't want to give up my address or anything like that, and that's that simple. just being mindful, and then you being aware of like what you're doing when you're streaming and like what information is being divulged. And I think that if you know that and you're mindful of that, then I think that can help keep you from being too fearful, because you've prepared and you can protect yourself. Like, like I've taken the time to protect myself. Yeah. But I think that's the most. I think streaming like is a safe thing as long as you keep a wall and you maintain that wall. If there's people that's doing IRL streams and they're running around with cameras and stuff and cities and stuff,
landmarks and everything.
This is a gamble, and that's nothing that you're doing, and I don't think that that's anything for you to be worried about. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not. No, you're not doing IRL streams. 1, 2. You're not like some.
Yeah.
No, that's just. Even still, you're not running around with no camera by yourself out in some city in the middle of the night. You know what I'm saying? That's what the guy was doing.
I mean, I never would.
Yeah, and then the swatting thing is like, make sure you just protect your information and protect the exchange. Be mindful of what's coming up on your screen. If you live streaming, it just is what it is. Like you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful about what you're displaying and what you're saying. That's it. We see when the news about athletes getting jammed up because they're just saying really crazy stuff, but they weren't being mindful. I think they just got caught up in like, I don't even know. And they're just saying like crazy stuff. And they're like, bro, what are you doing? You're somebody. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say these crazy things.
Yeah. I mean, it's either that they're not mindful or they're entitled as hell, and then the huge ego.
Even
it's
if
like
you,
it don't matter.
even if you
I'm this person. Like
no, that their world, nobody's world works like that. Where you can just like these motherfuckers, they get rid of them like it's nothing, bro.
You're talking about athletes specifically.
Yeah,
I'm talking about just like big name rich people.
No, I'm talking about like athletes in general. That's why I use that I can't speak for like with a movie star. Movie star can say whatever the fuck they want to say. You know what I mean? There's some people they can.
Yeah.
They're not eating out of somebody else's hand. Like
Yeah.
he has to keep a job.
Yeah.
You saying this crazy shit. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But you got to just be mindful, like what you're saying, what you're doing, who's listening. That's it. I just think that's it. I don't think there's really too much anything to be afraid of. All of those people that had those instances of swatting, they were really like doing really sloppy things. They had already controversy between them and their communities, also as well. So there was already like some kind of strife. Some people, yes, there's like where it just randomly happens, but for the most part, no, it was like these people were big name streamers and like
pissed off the right person. So what happens to the swatters? Like, are they caught? Are they punished?
Yeah, some people get caught. Yeah, some of them are getting caught.
Because that's like hella felonies.
In the write up that I listened to, it was a YouTube essay, a video essay. It was all together. It was a video series about like iceberg Twitch. So, we watch the iceberg cult video.
Yeah.
Basically going through the iceberg, like these different levels of cults. And that was just different level of Twitch controversy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and swatting was one of the just like at the bottom ones. Another one was like some guy who was a streamer, and he like, I don't know what happened to him. It was really weird, like old white guy, and I don't know. They were all really weird, but the swatting one was like the most impactful one. Obviously, somebody got shot.
Yeah, that's nuts, and that's really clearly very dangerous.
Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit more like expecting like maybe that something like that would be a thing, because I know how rampant fraud is. Like, so I know how many people are out there that are like fucking around with people's shit. Like, so that's why I feel like the most important thing is just making sure you protect your information. And if your information is protected, then you're good. Like, that's that. It is what it is.
Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that information. I think that's really important because right now it's happening on Twitch. And that's why I said like YouTube and like is IG Live and all that kind of stuff. Like those are also live streaming platforms or features on a platform too. So
yeah, people. I mean, it's happening on a grander scale than that because that's how Pop Smoke died. Pop Smoke died because he like live streamed something where he was at. Some person seen it.
And they saw where he was.
Yeah, they killed him. Like in general, as a whole, we all have to be
much more
mindful of like information because somebody could use it to strike out at you, and it's unfortunate. But I think that just the way things are, that's my world view.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
He's making a really comical sad face right now. Okay. What else about gaming though? We were watching Lil Simsy. I love her content. I like her channel. I like the things she does. And she was, I don't remember what she was doing, but she talked a little bit about Sim sessions, which she plays The Sims 4. That's like what she's really known for. But she was talking about Sim sessions, which is essentially I don't know if you can call it a concert. I wasn't really paying too much attention to it because I only like watching her play the game. I don't care too much for talking from anybody, quite honestly. Even my favorite streamers, when they're talking, I'll be like, I'll be back later when you're playing a game. But something about Sim sessions, they're partnering with celebrities and people were questioning the word celebrity being used. BB Rexa is one of them. I don't know the other two people. But I think they're partnering with Sims. I think it's supposed to be like a music concert festival, something other. And I guess they'll be singing in Simlish. I don't know. But it reminded me of... Yeah. I mean, there's already artists like Doja Cat. One of her songs is on the Sims game. Like when you play the radio, it's actual music artists who are singing their songs in Simlish. And then the rest of them are kind of just like, general...
I need some confirmation on like what is like the root language
of Simlish.
Yeah, like
look it up on your phone and then we can read it. It's legit.
Out here got me like summoning.
It's not enchantment or nothing. It's legit. It's the same thing as I don't remember what movie it was where they like combined a couple different languages to create a whole new language and the person had to learn the language like the character. I want to say it might be The Fifth Element.
Yeah, you can say that. A lot of sci-fi movies.
Yeah, so it's the same concept. But you can look it up. It's like not nothing.
Is a language and
look it up, honey.
Mandalorian is a language.
But so they have the Sim sessions, which reminded me of when Travis Scott was performing as this huge, terrifying monster, Power Ranger-esque Zord monster thing, and with Fortnite. And I think Fortnite did it with a couple other artists.
Amazing.
That shit is terrifying, bro. Because I'm thinking about... it reminds me of Spy Kids.
It is.
I mean, Fortnite reminds me of Spy Kids, the video game, quite honestly. But it reminds me of Spy Kids, especially Spy Kids 3D.
Pac too.
Anderson .Paak did one?
Yeah, we watched it at the movies in Atlanta.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I had to switch. Yeah.
Maybe you watched it. I don't remember watching that.
Because we was at mine. I remember. Shout out mine. Shout out Vibrant.
King.
I was gonna say King. What you mean?
Because you paused.
You said it before I could say it.
You paused. Anyway, yeah, it just reminded me of Fortnite. And then when Lil Nas X did the Christmas one or the holiday one.
Roblox.
Roblox, yeah.
Shout out Roblox. Yeah, send me a membership.
What?
Yeah.
You have a Roblox account?
Set it up. No, I'm trying to get them to set it up. Like, I'm trying to be spokesperson for Roblox.
What the hell are you... you don't even have an account. How you going to be spokesperson for Roblox? Use the product.
I'm your man.
No, he's not.
I am your man.
Fortnite, maybe. You play Fortnite. You don't play no damn Roblox.
Nah.
Why would it be Rob anyway? That's what it
'Cause
reminded me
like-
of,
that's
and
like
it kind of
Ninja
just
and them, bro.
yeah, true. But this is something that you have said, or to the likes of it, is how like Fortnite has set the precedent for a lot of video games and also art. Like Fortnite is the TikTok of video games for me.
Yeah, it really is. How they incorporate songs into the game, like every season, the skins, they basically are like skimming off of like what's bubbling in pop culture at that time. So like right now this season in Fortnite they have Rick as a skin.
Like Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Rick is a skin. You can do the dance, all the dances and everything. Like Rick Fortnite, like that doesn't even. But they do that all the time. They've had Ripley from you wouldn't even
Alien.
Yeah, from Alien. The Alien.
I'm asking
from
because
Alien.
I'm trying to make sure it's Alien.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Alien Ripley.
I've seen it like twice. I'm asking like for confirmation. That's what you was talking about, not like.
Yeah. I was saying yeah. What else? The Alien from Alien, Predator, Superman, the Terminator, the Mandalorian.
I already did a story.
Kylo Ren. Like it's just whatever
is yeah.
What's going on?
I mean, it's smart and it also keeps the game fresh. Like people complain a lot about Animal Crossing, how the Animal Crossing New Horizons doesn't get as many updates. And like Pocket Camp, apparently Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is like the phone the phone app game, whatever word you would use for that. And apparently it gets way more content and stuff than Animal Crossing New Horizons, the game.
I think that they didn't anticipate Animal Crossing to be as big as...
Yeah. I mean, they probably didn't anticipate it because they didn't anticipate a pandemic.
Yeah, as well.
So, because it came out literally in March, like right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Perfect. I think as well that they're going to be doing updates long term more than like giving us a lot of stuff. I don't think they planned it to be this big, but I think that they're going to keep it. I think they're going to add a lot more stuff to the game. That's my personal opinion.
I think so too, especially with people complaining so much. I think they just have to figure it out, like
because what you can get struck by, not to get you, but you can get struck by lightning now.
No, you can.
Didn't you just say that?
No, somebody was asking for it to be a thing.
Oh,
everything I read about Animal Crossing features are things people want.
We can swim.
Yeah, we can swim and collect creatures in the ocean. Yeah.
They've added more than that.
There's the seasons. There's the different holidays. Bunny Day was one of the first holidays. I don't know. They do 4th of July. We did 4th of July together last year.
But I don't mean necessarily like event program, but also just like features. Haven't they added more stuff than just the swimming? I
don't know. They're swimming. They did a thing with Build-A-Bear, which also flopped because it's only like 3 characters. It's Tom Nook, or actually 2. It's Tom Nook and Isabel, and maybe they added a 3rd one. Maybe they added KK Slider. That's it. And people were like, you should add the top 10 most popular villagers too.
But I don't think they was really anticipating.
I don't know how they wouldn't be anticipating that, like unless they're rolling things out as with Build-A-Bear, because KK Slider wasn't part of the original. It was just Tom Nook and Isabel. Isabel was added at some point. The thing is, I've never played any other Animal Crossing game except Pocket Camp for a very short amount of time, and I didn't really understand it. But with New Horizons, I don't know if it's like the other games, but people have complained about like the villagers. They have the same canned responses, and if you're playing the game as much as people were playing, like literally logging in every day, playing it for like, people got like 500, over 1,000 hours played on the game, playing all day, every day. And talking to your villagers is one way you can get like the Nook miles every day. And so people want to get Nook miles to get tickets and all that kind of stuff. And if you're talking to your villagers every day, 3 times a day, they're saying the same stuff all the time, depending on who the villager is. But someone recently put up a Twitter thread. Like, my island is not developed. I don't play the game as much as other people were playing. I was at first because I was trying to, get an actual island together and not just have a bunch of tents everywhere. But somebody put up a Twitter thread about ways to keep the game fresh for yourself, or ways to always have things to do in the game. Because people, they go and make their island and they terraform all that kind of stuff and they got it, and then that's it. And then they're like, okay, I'm bored with the game. And they either reset their island or they never play the game again.
Yeah, that's what I felt like was going to happen. You got to kind of like take your time with the game. I feel like, what's the rush?
Yeah.
This shit is a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. That's why.
It's a lot.
And for somebody like me who can't make decisions super easily, and I'm not like interior design or exterior design or all that kind of stuff, can't decide on a theme. Like, I still don't have my island is a 2-star. I can't even terraform yet. But it's like, for people like me, I've had the game for over a year, and I'm just figuring out what I want to do with my island. But
man, I just put another room in my house.
yeah, I need to upgrade my house, but it's like 1,000,000 bells or some shit like that.
Yeah, man. I'm taking my.
I don't know, but
time.
a lot of people also, they just want what they want. Again, going back to when we talk about like an instant generation, like, I want it now. I want a cool developed island now. People was cheating. They had to not mod the game. They had to like put parameters, like, if you time travel so far, or you don't have the capability to time travel too far ahead of the future, but people would time travel hella far so that their turnips would like be ripe or some I don't know, something with the turnips. I'm not part of the turnip trade, but that's how a lot of people became billionaires. But they would move forward in time to the next week so that they could sell their turnips for hella money. That, like, the switch that I bought off of that guy who had all that stuff on his island, I'm pretty sure he cheated to get all of that stuff. So people was doing that because they just wanted the perks and all the cool stuff in the game.
And then they broke the game.
And then they ruined it for themselves. I think some people ruined it for themselves.
I got millions of his bells.
Yeah, we got all his bells now. But in contrast, Fortnite keeps things interesting, but Fortnite is also a very different game. Fortnite is like Splatoon, where it's like you go in and battle people live online. Where Animal Crossing is like, you got this island and you just kind of design and create it however you want to. I mean, they're also two very different games, but
it depends though. I mean, you can.
Oh, they introduced Dream Islands, which I still don't understand. I don't understand it.
You don't understand me. I when she talks, I don't even read it. I just look at it and I just exit. Like, I don't even read what the little elephant dream lady says.
Oh.
When I go to Dreamland,
I don't even bother. It's just a bed in my house.
I go there. No, it goes to all the beds now. It doesn't matter, any bed.
No, like, that bed is just in my house. I don't sleep in it.
No, when you sleep in any bed, you dream now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't sleep in any bed, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you sleep in any bed, you dream now. It ain't just that dream bed.
Oh.
Nah, being out.
But yeah, I don't really understand it. It's like, is it separate islands? Do you have to make a whole nother island? Or is it like a way to go to other islands without the person being there?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's a way to go to other people's islands.
But yeah, they introduced that. That was something new.
So it's like astral.
I mean, the seasons change, so that's always something different. But I think because they weren't anticipating a pandemic, it probably would have been more successful had people not been home all the time. Yeah. But yeah, so there was Fortnite.
No, I think the game is still it's
absolutely a success, and people still absolutely love it. I'm just saying, people who are like, I'm bored with the game, I don't even log in anymore. Every time I go in, my villagers think I was dead.
They'll come back to it.
They will, but I think that there's a lot of pressure on the developers to, do some updates or something. More updates, but I think getting strike by lightning would be something else. That would be cool.
You don't even develop the game no more. You gotta develop the game and the content that you plan to be updating for the next year while the game is valid.
I think the last Animal Crossing game was like, this was also a really big deal because Animal Crossing is similar to The Sims, where people, like, there's a cult following. And so when they were like, oh, there's a new Animal Crossing, bitch, we're in there. So they were really excited about that. And I think I don't even know about previous Animal Crossing games, but there are some features that are in other games that are not in this one that people really wanted. So but
it's a lot of the Nintendo franchises, they have like these cult, like, mini subcultures where, like, they're obsessed with these games. All of them, all of those Nintendo ones, and then Mario. You know how Mario, Zelda. You've seen Zelda people. You've seen how, like, you see the Triforce symbol on the back of cars and stuff, and people that.
Yeah, but the difference between those is that they're adventure games, or they're like story games. Some of the story games where it's like you keep advancing to another level. Where Animal Crossing, there is no set goal. You set them yourself.
Yeah,
there's some tasks to get to a certain point, but after that, you do whatever you want to do.
That's all, like, management, like, simulation games,
Yeah.
or like they're all kind of like
the same as The Sims.
does
However,
it end?
The
Like,
Sims continues to bring in new content with all the packs that they create and everything. And people also make mods for The Sims,
so you
custom
saying
content for The Sims.
You want Animal Crossing people to keep up like with The Sims?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying it's another simulation game that keeps their customers satisfied. The Sims is also, I don't know how. Oh, I thought it was going to sit on my hand. He's blowing bubbles. I don't know. They're two different games, but they're also similar as simulation games. We're running really long on time, but is there anything else about gaming? I mean, I think I could finish the thought.
We covered a lot. We basically were saying how the connection between like gaming and music artists has changed, and it basically was probably frontiered by Fortnite, and like how they decided to market themselves, and how did they decide to like put popular culture into the game, because that's all it is. It's just infused with.
I mean, what about GTA?
Same. I mean, it
2K, all the sports games. It's just very different. It's very different, and I can't understand it. And maybe we can delve more into it in another podcast episode.
Of course, we'll share a couple of opinions about
wink wink
some other things some other time,
for sure.
But for today, our time's up.
Yeah, so we're going to wrap up the show. So that ends our third episode of A Couple of Opinions. I'm Ebony. My pronouns are she, her, and hers.
I'm LeRon, he, him.
And that is all for this episode of A Couple of Opinions.
Thank you for listening. If you want to share your socials.
Yes, you can hit me up at TheBusyBee, TheBizibi, on Instagram or on Twitter if you want to